It's the WP Minute. Support independent WordPress news like this. Join the Slack membership or purchase a classified listing in the weekly newsletter at thewpminute.com/support. You know how it goes. Everything I mention here will be linked up in the newsletter and the blog post. Check out thewpminute.com for the links. The hot topic this week was diversity, more specifically, how it relates to the upcoming WordCamp Europe speaker lineup. After the event announced its fifth round of speakers, Stellar WP's Michelle Frechette took to Twitter with the following observation, quote, "So far, only 25% of speakers announced for WCEU are women by name and photo, and only 3 appear to be non-white, hoping to see some more inclusion in the next few rounds of announcements," end quote. What followed were some heated comments, including one from event organizers. Quote, "Please stop being prejudiced and wait until all speakers have been announced. Thanks," end quote. It's worth noting that subsequent announcements have included more women and people of color. However, the tenor of the conversation in Frechette's thread has raised some eyebrows. To read more about the issue at hand, check out posts from Job Thomas, Diversity in Conference Speaker Lineups, and Master WP's Rob Howard for WordCamp, The Challenge of Diversifying Tech Takes Center Stage. Let's move on to those links you shouldn't miss this week. A new proposal aims to modernize WordCamps. In the near future, the events could be focused on a singular topic and a specific audience. The WP Minute's Eric Karkovac spoke with Angela Jin, WordPress Head of Programs and Contributor Experience, to learn more. They discussed the current state of WordCamps and how these community cornerstone events might benefit from a change. This month marks the 20th anniversary of WordPress. As part of the celebration, the WP Minute Plus released a panel discussion about the software's biggest moments, hosted by David Bissett. The panel features Ray Morey, Jeff Chandler, Ken Elliott, and the WP Minute's Eric Karkovac. The guy's getting all over the place this month. WordPress 6.2.1 was released on May 16th. This version includes 20 bug fixes to WordPress core, 10 for the block editor, and a handful of security patches. And it also introduced an issue that breaks shortcodes used within the block theme templates. If this describes your site, think twice before updating. Meanwhile, a workaround has been created and a permanent solution is being discussed. Last week, we reported on a reflected cross-site scripting XSS vulnerability, and that has recently been patched in Advanced Custom Fields plugin. Sarah Gooding at WP Tavern reported that within 24 hours of the vulnerability's disclosure, attackers had begun attempts to exploit it. According to Ryan Barnett of Akamai Security Intelligence Group, SIG, malicious actors use code examples shared within the disclosure. It's recommended that users of the plugin update their installs immediately. Now it's time to take a look at some other interesting topics shared by our contributors right inside that precious grab bag. There's a lot. This is a big bag. You'll be carrying around a big bag this week. That's all I got for you. WordPress has accumulated 13 default themes since 2010. To cut down on maintenance requirements, there's a proposal to retire some of the older themes. Cloud service provider WPCS announced that they've secured investment from Amelia Capital. Amelia is owned by Yoast founders Joost de Valk and Marieke van der Rat. Users of essential add-ons for Elementor should take note of a recent patch security vulnerability. Sarah Gooding of WP Tavern reports that the unauthenticated privilege escalation vulnerability was rated as critical and was patched in version 5.7.2 of the plugin. Speaking of security, ever wonder what it's like to work in the field? Check out an interview with Alexander Concha, an application security engineer at Automatic. The Kirky Customizer Framework plugin has found a new home. Founder David Vongries previously announced that he was sunsetting the product and looking to sell. WordPress development firm Themium has acquired the plugin and plans to keep it in active development. Gravity Forms has launched a new podcast called Breakdown. The show explores different ways to use the popular plugin and will feature a special guest. It's hosted by our very own Matt Medeiros. That's me. WordPress competitor Wix now offers support for headless website configurations. The service takes advantage of the growing popularity of headless installs with the ability to manage content from the Wix site builder. There's a difference between branding and marketing. Hazel Kimpo and Michelle Frechette discussed the topic on a recent episode of the Audacity Marketing Podcast. Curious about the benefits of a 4-day work week, social media toolkit provider Buffer have released data regarding the 3-year journey using the arrangement. New members this week, Adam Weeks, no pun intended. If you're not a member, go to the WPminute.com/support to join. Thanks to all of the members who shared these links today: Liam Dempsey, Michelle Frechette, Sam Munoz, and Courtney Robertson. Thanks to you, dear listener, for tuning in to your favorite 5 minutes of WordPress news every Wednesday. You can support independent content like this by purchasing us a digital coffee at the WPminute.com/support. WPminute.com/support. That's it for today's episode. If you enjoyed it, please share it wherever you do social media and jump on the mailing list at the WPminute.com.